The Mali Empire, also historically referred to as the Mandinka, was a Mandinka, Bambara empire in West Africa from c. 1230 to c. 1600. The empire was founded by Sundiata Keita and became renowned for the wealth of its rulers, especially Mansa Musa. The Mali Empire was the largest in West Africa and profoundly influenced the culture of the region through the spread of its language, laws and customs along lands adjacent to the Niger River, as well as other areas consisting of numerous vassal kingdoms and provinces. The Mali Empire. The name Mali was recorded as the name of the empire by Ibn Battuta. According to Battuta's contemporary Chihab al-Umari, the name of the empire was Niamey, after its capital. Alternative variants of the name Mali included Melel, Mel, and Melet. The native name, Mandan, for the territory was eponymous of the name of the ethnic group, the Mandinka, with the ka suffix meaning, people of. From the evidence of the Epic of Sundiata, a semi-historical account of the empire's foundation in the early 13th century. The territory with this name comprised most of present-day northern Guinea and southern Mali. The empire originated as a federation of Mandinka tribes called the Mandinka. The rulers of Mali came to be called Mansa, meaning emperor or master. Mansa Musa was Mali's most renowned king, ruling from 1312 to 1337 CE. He was the grandson of Sundiata's half-brother, and ruled Mali at a time of great prosperity, during which trade tripled. During his rule, he doubled the land area of Mali. It became a larger kingdom than any in Europe at the time. The cities of Mali became important trading centers for all of West Africa as well as famous centers of wealth, culture, and learning. Timbuktu, an important city in Mali, became one of the major cultural centers not only of Africa but of the entire world. Vast libraries and Islamic universities were built. These became meeting places of the finest poets, scholars, and artists of Africa and the Middle East. Mansa Musa, who was Muslim, was perhaps best known outside of Mali for his pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 CE. According to some accounts, 60,000 people accompanied him, along with 200 camels laden with gold, silver, food, clothing, and other goods. This pilgrimage displayed Mansa Musa's enormous wealth and generosity. Pre-imperial Mandan. There are a few references to Mali in written literature of roughly contemporary age. Among these are references to Dar and Malol in the work of al-Bakri in 1068, the story of the conversion of an early ruler, known to Ibn Khaldun as Bar Mondana, and a few geographical details in the work of al-Idrisi. There has also been archaeological work done especially at Niani, reputed to be the capital of Mali, by Polish and Guinean archaeologists in the 1960s, which revealed the remains of a substantial town dating back as far as the 6th century. Modern oral traditions also related that the Mandinka kingdoms of Mali or Mandan had already existed several centuries before Sundiata's unification, as a small state just to the south of the Soninke Empire of Ouagadougou, better known as the Garner Empire. This area was composed of mountains, savanna and forest, providing ideal protection and resources for the population of hunters. Those not living in the mountains formed small city-states such as Tehran, Kabar and Niani. Through the oral tradition of griots, the Keita dynasty from which nearly every Mali emperor came traces its lineage back from Lorelo, one of the sons of Bilal, the faithful muezzin of Islam's prophet Muhammad, which was said to migrated into Mali and his descendants, establishing the ruling Keita dynasty through Magan Konfata, father of Sundiata Keita. It was common practice during the Middle Ages for both Christian and Muslim rulers to tie their bloodline back to a pivotal figure in the faith's history. So the lineage of the Keita dynasty may be dubious at best. The Kangabar province, during the height of Sundiata's power, the land of Mandan, became one of its provinces. The Mandan city-state of Kabar served as the capital and name of this province. From at least the beginning of the 11th century, Mandinka kings known as farmers ruled Mandan from Kaaba in the name of the Garners. The two kingdoms' Wagadu's control over Mandan came to a halt after internal instability led to its decline. The Kangabar province, free of Soninke influence, splintered into 12 kingdoms with their own Magan or Faama. Mandan was split in half with the Dodugu territory to the northeast and the Cree territory to the southwest. The tiny kingdom of Niani was one of several in the Cree area of Mandan. The Kaniagar rulers in approximately 1140 the Sosa kingdom of Kaniagar, a former vassal of Wagadu, began conquering the lands of its old masters. By 1180 it had even subjugated Wagadu, forcing the Soninke to pay tribute. In 1203, the Sosa king Somaoro of the Kante clan came to power and reportedly terrorized much of Mandan, stealing women and goods from both Dodugu and Cree. The Hungering Lion, according to Nyan's version of the epic, during the rise of Kaniagar, Sundiata of the Kaita clan was born in the early 13th century. He was the son of Niani's Faama, Nara-Fa. Sundiata's mother was Magan Konfata's second wife, Sogalinkeju. She was a hunchback from the land of Du, south of Mali. The child of this marriage received the first name of his mother and the surname of his father. Combined in the rapidly spoken language of the Mandinka, the names formed Sonjata, Sunjata or Sundiata Kaita. The anglicized version of this name, Sunjata, is also popular. In Ibn Khaldun's account, Sunjata is recorded as Mari Jata with Mari, meaning emir or prince. He also states that Jata or Jata means lion. Prince Sunjata was prophesied to become a great conqueror. To his parents' dread, the prince did not have a promising start. Sundiata, according to the oral traditions, did not walk until he was 7 years old. However, once Sundiata did gain use of his legs, he grew strong and very respected. Sadly for Sunjata, this did not occur before his father died. Despite the Faama of Niani's wishes to respect the prophecy and put Sundiata on the throne, the son from his first wife Sasuma Be-Akutari Akut was crowned instead. As soon as Sasuma's son Dankrin Tumane took the throne, he and his mother forced the increasingly popular Sunjata into exile along with his mother and 2 sisters. Before Dankrin Tumane and his mother could enjoy their unimpeded power, King Somaoro set to his sights on Niani, forcing Dankrin to flee to Kisadugu. After many years in exile, first at the court of Wagadu and then at Mema, Sundiata was sought out by a Niani delegation and begged to combat the Sosa and free the kingdoms of Mandan forever. Battle of Kareena, returning with the combined armies of Mema, Wagadu and all the rebellious Mandinka city-states. Magan Sundiata or Sumanguru led a revolt against the Kaniagar kingdom around 1234. The combined forces of northern and southern Mandan defeated the Sosa army at the Battle of Kareena in approximately 1235. This victory resulted in the fall of the Kaniagar kingdom and the rise of the Mali Empire. After the victory, King Somaoro disappeared, and the Mandinka stormed the last of the Sosa cities. Magan Sundiata was declared Faama of farmers, and received the title Mansa, which translates roughly to emperor. At the age of 18, he gained authority over all the 12 kingdoms in an alliance known as the Mandan Kuriafaba. He was crowned under the throne name Mari Jata, becoming the first Mandinka emperor. Organization: the Mandan Kuriafaba, founded by Mari Jata. It was composed of the 3 freely allied states of Mali, Mema and Wagadu plus the 12 Dors of Mali. It is important to remember that Mali, in this sense, strictly refers to the city-state of Niani. The 12 Dors of Mali were a coalition of conquered or allied territories, mostly within Mandan, with sworn allegiance to Sundiata and his descendants. Upon stabbing their spears into the ground before Sundiata's throne, each of the 12 kings relinquished their kingdom to the Kaita dynasty. In return for their submission, they became Farbase, a combination of the Mandinka words Faran and Bar. Faran was a general term for northern commander at the time. These Farbase would rule their old kingdoms in the name of the Mansa, with most of the authority they held prior to joining the Mandinka Faba. The Great Assembly, the Jibara, a Great Assembly, would serve as the Mandinka deliberative body until the collapse of the Mandinka in 1645. Its first meeting, at the famous Kourou Fuga, had 29 clan delegates presided over by Abel Antigua, the final incarnation of the Jibara, according to the surviving traditions of northern Guinea, held 32 positions occupied by 28 clans. Social, economic, and government reformation. The Kourou Fuga also put in place social and economic reforms, including prohibitions on the maltreatment of prisoners and slaves, installing documents between clans which clearly stated who could say what about whom. Also, Sundiata divided the lands amongst the people, assuring everyone had a place in the empire, and fixed exchange rates for common products. Mari Jatarai, Sundiata Keita Manso Mari Jata, later named Sundiata Keita, saw the conquest and or annexation of several key locals in the Mali Empire. He never took the field again after Kareena, but his generals continued to expand the frontier, especially in the west where they reached the Gambia River and the marches of Tekrur. This enabled him to rule over a realm larger than even the Garner Empire in its apex. When the campaigning was done, his empire extended 1,000 miles east to west, with those borders being the bends of the Senegal and Niger rivers respectively. After unifying Mandan, he added the Wangara goldfields, making them the southern border. The northern commercial towns of Oualata and Ordagos were also conquered and became part of the new state's northern border. Ouagadougou and Mema became junior partners in the realm and part of the imperial nucleus. The lands of Bambagu, Jalor, and Kabu were added into Mali by Fakli Koroma, Frankamara, and Tiramakan Traore, respectively. Among the many different ethnic groups surrounding Mandan were Pulaar-speaking groups in Messina, Tekrur and Fouta Jalan. The Mandinka of Mandan became the Malinka of Mali.